Okay, it is buffering. All right, we'll be going live in about 5 seconds. But yeah, I've been quite good with the non-swearing.
Fantastic. It'll be different, won't it? No swearing at all nice and relaxed and gentle and zen.
Okay, I'm going to mute all except you, Jane.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Because you know how much I like the sound of my own voice. It's just winner for me. We are going to do a live mindful meditation session just to try out a few things and just to see how it works in a digital format, and to see if we can give a little bit of relief and support and healing, and just generally a quiet space, and for people who've never experienced it before, to find out a little bit more about being mindful and what meditation might be like. And I thought it was a good idea because we are on Zoom at the moment all the time. I was just saying then before we went live that normally if you're brave enough to go to one of these classes or groups, or if you go to yoga or a sound bath or a meditation space, sometimes quite difficult to even get through the door because you feel a bit nervous or anxious, or it's all a little bit different, you don't know what to expect. So even getting there in the first place can sometimes be a challenge if you're unsure. And then once you're actually in the space, you've then got the added worry of keeping one eye open and not really relaxing because you're worried that people are watching you. Have I got my ears closed the right way? Am I breathing the right way? Is everybody looking at me? And everybody seems to think that everybody else has got their eyes open. So you don't really get into the zone as much as you possibly could do. So this is why Zoom could be quite useful. And here's our friend Nicola. Let's let Nicola in. Well, hello, Nicola. It's our friend Nicola from Inspire Rewire. He's our special guest today. I'm going to let Kitty. Oh, no, I don't need to. Lindy's on the case. Good evening.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Absolutely fabulous. I've been in a Zoom haze all day. So this is, I need this just as much as I think everybody else does, but it's all good. We've just decided we're going to go live on YouTube, see how that works.
Well done.
Yeah, so we got tech. Lindy's on tech, so we're going to be able to spotlight me, as you can see right now. So I will do my little bit, and then everybody. This is Nicola, who's our very, very special guest. He's got, and everybody's got their cameras off, so they are here, honestly. And then I'm going to hand over to Nicola to do some magic stuff with sound in a little while, and then I think at the end, we were just discussing before we went live the best way to do this, and we're trying lots of different formats at the moment. But what I think I might do, if it's okay with everybody, we're going to keep cameras and mics off. We'll wait a couple more minutes to see if anybody else wants to join us. I am going to do my little bit of a guided meditation without too much of an explanation, because I think it's good to have no expectations and to just roll with it and see how you feel and see what happens. Then we'll just hold that space. Once I've finished, I'll let you know that I finished, and we'll hand over to Nicola. I think mine'll take about 20 minutes. I'll hand over to Nick to do her magic, and then at the end we'll just sort of have cameras and mics back on if people want to and they feel comfortable. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a chat just to give a bit of feedback, see how you found it. Yeah, and that's that. I think that's the format we'll follow if everybody's fine with that. So first thing I'm going to ask you to do, just while we wait a couple of minutes to see if anybody else wants to join us, is have you got a glass or a bottle of water handy? Because you'll probably want one. So if you haven't, go and fetch yourselves a little glass of water, get yourselves a cushion or a pillow, a blanket, anything else that you may have forgotten while you were rushing to get onto Zoom and are now wishing you had. We've got time. So have a chill. Lindy's got water. That's good. Lindy's always got water. We've learnt about water, haven't we? So I've got my water here. So we'll just have that couple of minutes for people to get organised. Make sure you've got somewhere comfortable to be. And the temperature's okay. You're not too warm, you're not too cool. So that'll make all the difference to the experience if you can be as comfortable as you possibly can. I'm going to have a little look at the chat to see how everybody's doing. Nice heart from Kitty. Thank you, my love. Okay. Lindy, quick question. Have we shared the link again? Just while I've got my mind on it. If we can, or Meg's on the sharing as well. If we share the link one more time and let people know that they're welcome to join. We've set it so that people will join without their audio or their cameras on, so people can just pop in as and when they feel like it. Okay. Right, so I'm hoping that you all have some water ready. And you've all got a comfortable position to be in. That could be outside, could be on a yoga mat, could be in a chair, plenty of cushions if you're on a chair, your feet firmly on the floor, could be lying on your bed. If you're lying on your bed, maybe put a cushion or something under your knees just to give you a little bit of support there. As comfortable as you possibly can be, give yourself a little wiggle around, get yourself in that nice space where you really, really can relax. Make sure you've got your phone turned off or on silent so you don't get pinged. Okay. And all we're going to do just to start off with is just to bring your awareness to your breath, which seems like a very simple thing to do because we all know how to breathe. But quite often we're always rushing around and that unconscious breathing for survival just kicks in. But this is more about the art of mindfulness and a little bit of mindful breathing. So I'd like you just to begin with, just to focus on your breath. And we're going to take a couple of deep breaths to begin with, slightly deeper than you normally would. If you can breathe in through your nose, that's great. If you can't, mouth's just fine. If you can breathe in through your nose, just take a nice deep breath in, filling your lungs as full as you possibly can. When you get to the top, just hold for a second before you breathe out all the way to the bottom. When you feel that your lungs are empty, just hold again for a second. Another really deep, slow breath in. Hold at the top. And then a big exhale out. And just a couple more times, just to slow your sympathetic nervous system down. Nice big breath in. Hold at the top for a second. And then feel your shoulders just relax and your jaw soften as you breathe out fully, right the way to the bottom. And then just one more, deeply as you can. Hold at the top. And then all the way out to the bottom. And you should notice already the chemistry in your body will have shifted a little bit now that everything's started to calm down. Just keeping your awareness on your breath, you can settle into a natural rhythm now, whatever feels comfortable for you. There's no right or wrong, just whatever your natural rhythm may be. And as you continue, take some nice cleansing breaths. Just notice the feeling of the air as it enters through your nose or through your mouth. Just notice how cool it feels when it hits the back of your throat. And I wonder if you can track the journey of that air as it comes in, the journey it takes to the back of your throat and down into your lungs. Can you feel that space? Can you feel your lungs expanding? Just hold that nice, peaceful feeling for a couple more breaths. And now as you take your next breath in, what I'd like you to do is just imagine that you're breathing in a beautiful golden luminescent light from the energy around you. And just feel that travel all the way through your body, through all of the trillions of cells and all the spaces in between, just lighting the way and just washing you with a beautiful, calm, soothing, healing glow. And every in-breath that you take, just notice that beautiful healing light as it makes its journey all the way around your body. Filling you up as it goes. and making you glow from the inside out. And then what I'd like you to do, as you're focusing on that beautiful healing light, every time you take your exhale, every time you breathe out, I'd just like you to imagine all the stress, all the anxiety, all the fears, your worries, the expectations and the deadlines, all the toxicity from the media and the news, all the people around you. And just breathe that out in a big cloud of smog out of your system. Just watch it evaporate, where it can't harm you or anybody else anymore. And we'll just continue to breathe in the beautiful light. And then breathe out all of that smoky, smoggy stress, fear, worry. Just release it all. As you release on the out breath, just let your shoulders droop that little bit more. Let your jaw soften. Feel all the muscles just melt. Release all that tension. We'll just do 1 or 2 more of those nice cleansing breaths. In with the light. And out. Any negativity or any stress that you might be holding, just watch it evaporate and dissipate. Now we're in a nice, soothing, calm space. You have your nice, regular breathing settled. And you're filled up with light. And all your worries for the day have left you, giving you that little bit of respite. I'm just going to practice a little bit of mindful observation. As you continue to breathe at your nice relaxed pace, just want you to be aware of where your body makes contact with whatever surface that you're on. So if you're on a chair, just notice the contact points, the backs of your legs maybe, where your feet meet the floor. Are you on concrete? Are you on a carpet? Are you lying down, maybe on a yoga mat? Can you feel the spongy sensation? Maybe you're on a bed with your cushions and a warm throw. Just notice the sensations of the fabrics and the surfaces around you and how they feel against your body. Something that you would never take into consideration and probably never notice. Just notice them now. And as you do, I'd now like you to take your awareness to the end of your nose. Can you feel the space at the end of your nose? Can you notice any sensations, any temperature changes? Is it cold? Is it warm? And what about the ends of your fingers? Can you focus your attention right to the end of your fingers, your fingernails? Can you even feel your fingernails? What are the sensations that you come across there? Do you have any tingling sensations? Is it cool? Is it warm? And then just slowly move your attention to the top of your head, to your hair. Is it possible to feel your hair on the top of your head? Are there any sensations that come up when you do that? And then I'd like you to just focus your attention on the space that you occupy. If you're in a room, just try and think about the space around you. How far can you send your awareness out? Especially if you've got your eyes closed right now. Can you feel the space around you? Can you feel the edges of the room. If you're outside, can you expand your awareness? How far can your awareness take you? Just consider the small space that you occupy on the whole planet. You should just breathe in gently, beautiful warm light. Now I'd just like you to take your left hand, just place it over your heart space. Let it rest comfortably at your heart. And then just place your right hand over the top. Just feel your heart space. See if you can notice your heart beating through your hands. And if you can't feel your heart beating through your hands, can you notice that inside your body? Can you feel the space that contains your heart? That amazing life-giving force that does its job 24 hours a day without being asked, without being noticed, keeps you alive, that amazing gift. And as you bring your awareness to that space that you've probably never thought about before, just think about how grateful you are, that feeling of appreciation, and send it to your heart. Just as a thank you for keeping you alive all this time and for helping you do all the things that you do. Really feel that appreciation into your heart space. While you have your hands resting in that special place, I'd like you to just bring your awareness back to your breath again. This really, really special kind of meditation. And I'd just like you to breathe in a little bit deeper like before. And as you breathe in, I want you to breathe into your heart, using your hands as a guide. Your breath in, breathing straight into your heart. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out from your heart space. And we're just going to do that for a couple of minutes. Breathing in through your heart. Breathing out through your heart. Again, breathing that beautiful, luminous, golden light into your heart space. Feel the comfort, the calm. Breathe out through your heart. And again, breathe in through your heart. Breathe out through your heart. Beautiful. We'll just do that twice more. Breathe in. All that comfort into your heart where it's needed the most. As you breathe out, once again, breathe out all that trapped emotion, the stress, the worry, the fear, the walls that have been built around that space. Just let them all dissipate and dissolve. And breathe out. Just continue in this way. And while we're doing this, now that you've changed your frequency, I'd like you just to think without judgment about any situation that you've noticed recently that might be holding you back, causing you some upset, some trouble, maybe a situation or a person or something that you just can't manage to get past. And just bring that to your awareness without judgment as you're breathing into your heart space. And ask yourself the question, what is it that I need to do right now to get past this? First thing that comes up will be your truth, because your heart knows the truth. Your heart knows what it is that you need to do. and who it is that you need to be. It's only when you can sync that with your brain, connect the two together, that you can really get the answers that you need. Just sit with that for a minute. Feel those sensations running through you. Just washing everything away, bringing that total peace and calm. And that knowing that the truth is there for you and you can access it anytime you want to. Just trust your heart. Keep on breathing into your heart space. And breathe out through your heart. And now, as we just get you to lengthen those breaths once again, we'll take a couple of really nice, cleansing, refreshing, deep breaths. Just a little bit deeper than before. And this time we're going to make the exhale even longer. So just breathe in. Hold. A really nice, long, deep breath out. And hold. And then one more in. And hold. And as you exhale, I'd like you to give your fingers a little wiggle. And just notice parts of your body as you come back into the room a little. Give your feet and your toes a little bit of a wriggle. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Give your feet a little bit of a stamp on the floor just to ground yourself. And just sit with that lovely, nice, new, calm feeling that you have. And I'm going to explain in a little while how that works and some of the things that might have come up. But for now, you've got absolutely no worries. You've got no deadlines, you've got no stress, you've got no expectations. At this moment in time, while we're here together as a group, there is nothing but you, your needs, your energy. Safe space to you to just be, to just exist, not having to fulfill any roles or responsibilities, to look after yourself, which I know every single person on this screen doesn't do enough of. So this is our chance right now to do that. Just get yourself comfortable back in the room and have a little bit of a wiggle, and get a sip of water if you'd like to. We've reached the end of my little guided meditation. Rather than break the spell, we're going to just sit with that nice sort of peaceful vibe and ask Nicola if she's happy to jump back in, and we'll look at spotlighting Nicola so that we can bring in a little bit of sound therapy. Hello.
So I'm just going to plug in my microphone here, and once I do so, I won't be able to hear you anymore. So
Right, I'm going to mute myself then. Lindy, you've Nick your spotlit already, so I'm just going to mute and then I'm just going to let you do your thing. And then at the end, we'll have a chat.
lovely. So just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I'm just going to test it here. Is that okay? Yep, fabulous. Okay, so we're just going to kind of go straight into it, really, because we've had that wonderful meditation already. So it's time to just go straight back into that lovely place that you've just found in your heart and in your mind. And we can talk about the instruments and so on afterwards. So you can either lay or stay seated. And if you'd like to join me, we're going to do 3 ohms first. So just once again, shifting that frequency, that energy, as though it's spelt A-U-M. And we do that with 1 full breath. So we're going to do that 3 times. The first thing we'll do is take a deep breath in together and just release the breath. And then this time 3 times om. So inhaling. Just breathing normally here and just noticing any subtle changes in the mind or the body, just from a few ohms, frequency of om that is found in all of nature. We're all vibrating beings. So sometimes emotions, thoughts, which are also vibrations, get stuck in the body. So we're just going to allow ourselves to just easily and smoothly fall back into a lovely space that we were just in. With every breath, drifting, floating, just allowing yourself to let go, to just be. Muscles are softening, mind relaxing. So just allowing yourself to take this moment to just enjoy being for a few moments longer in silence before I count you slowly back from 1 to 3. And by the time I get to 3, you'll be feeling lighter, somewhat different, a little shift mind, body or soul. So a few moments of stillness, of calm, taking that message that you gave yourself earlier and breathing that deep into your subconscious, absorbing it fully with the breath as the belly rises, and blowing out anything that's not serving you in a positive way anymore. Let's take one more breath and release. And with one, we're starting to think about connecting the mind and body back together. Slowly starting to think about integrating the mind and body. With two, as we start to connect to the body, moving parts of the body. And with three, feeling back in the here and now, back in the present, blinking the eyes open, maybe giving a nice stretch, taking a water, and just grounding yourself back in the here and now. Thank you very much.
Oh, I needed that. That was fab, Nick. I was stretching along with you then as well, and you couldn't see me. Big stretch. So everybody, if you want to, feel free to put your cameras back on, you can put your mics back on if you want. You don't have to, of course. I think we'll just have a little bit of a chat about, I'll probably ask you first, Nicola, because I was going to do a little bit of a run through and an introduction from your bio, but you might as well tell everybody yourself rather than me whittling on what Inspire Rewire is and what you do and what all about the instruments, if that's all right.
Oh yeah, so I'm Inspire Rewire. We create space for wellness through, we do wellbeing festivals. It was supposed to be Sunday, but now it's next year. And we do retreats and events. So a lot of the stuff we do is also online. But basically it's to help people with anxiety, to help people that need motivation and burnout, really, because that's what I've been through myself. So I was trained as a hypnotherapist and an NLP practitioner and a yoga teacher after leaving corporate. And now that's what I do. That's what I'm all about.
Mute, fantastic. And I attended your sound bath, didn't I, last week? And it was only on, I only just spotted it, literally. You'd probably noticed I literally jumped on the second before you started because it just crossed my feed. I thought I really need this, and I jumped on. It was brilliant because my migraine instantly just instantly shifted. And again, just then, I think sounds really. Who's that? Sound. Hang on a minute.
Speaking of sound,
let me plug this back in. Hang on. Right, is that better? Someone give me a thumbs up. Is that better? Just me trying to get out of wearing these headphones because this is squashing me. Yeah, so sound for me is, I think, is the key for me. It really, really helps because again, just then, it's like I can feel everything shifting. It really does just recalibrate completely. And I can always feel in my head, I can feel the build-up of pressure and anything's moving around and then it just sort of releases it. It's absolutely brilliant for me. I don't know how anybody else thought. What's that?
Really good for that.
See, I need to join you for some other bits as well because I've got out of over the last few years. My yoga practice is terrible, and I used to be really, again, it's the self-care thing, isn't it? And burnout. I wait until I hit burnout before and I've hit burnout so many times, but I really want to, walk the talk. And I know that yoga is really good for me. My back as well and my migraines. I know so I'm going to be stalking you a little bit from now on, I think.
Migraine yoga actually on YouTube.
Yeah, I remember you said last week. So I'm in North Wales in Deeside, and some of the team is in Liverpool and some of our team are down south, sort of spread out, but predominantly northwest, Liverpool and North Wales.
In Chester next Sunday, Sunday the 12th, I'm doing a yoga and sound healing in the park.
Are you? Right, I'm going to be there then. I'll be there for sure because it's just down the road from me. Oh, cool. That's very cool. I hope the weather's good for you.
No, me too. And if not, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's water, isn't it? I love the rain anyway. It's healing for me as well, the water. So that's really, really, really cool. Anybody want to pop anything in the chat? Meg saying it was so good. Thank you so much. Where? Yeah, Meg Chester, not far from me. If you want to come down.
If you know Westminster Park in Saltney.
Yeah, Wesley Park.
Nice and big, lots of parking, all free, isn't it there? So it's easy.
Yeah, Wesley Park. Yeah, I'll fill you in, Meg. If anybody fancies coming down, it's yeah, dead easy, not too far from me. Brill, that's very cool. So to fill you in, because I literally just grabbed you, didn't I, Nicola, and said, can you just come and do this with me? You don't know anything about us. So our organisation is called Art&Soul Tribe, as you could probably see from the title, because I forgot to change my name. And we came into being in 2015, where my background's in fashion and beauty. But what people don't know, people know that my background's in fashion and beauty, and we've done these events for a while now, but my actual background is an intuitive empath and a Reiki practitioner for the last 20 years, and all kinds of holistic therapies from reflex to I'm also an NLP practitioner. So that's kind of my background work, because what I want to do is just support people and help people, which is really bizarre, because the path I kind of went down the mainstream was to do that through beauty and hair and beauty and fashion, which was really odd, but it's brought me to where I am now. But I've always been a healer, as long as I can remember, just in sort of different ways. In the background, like throwing out juju like a Care Bear without anybody knowing about it. That's kind of my vibe. So I started doing the events in 2015 just to celebrate humanity, just to try and raise people's vibration, just by understanding the beauty of difference and not being in competition and not having to have that conflict, just celebrating humanity and what it means to be, you know, alive right now, and have that sort of all the gifts that we have, rather than just kicking off and being mean to each other. So that was the basis behind it. And then I met these wonderful folks along the way who have just kind of, you know, like your vibe attracts your tribe, as they say. We've had some just amazing people that have jumped on board now, and we've got a really good organisation, and we carry that message forward of just empowering people to come into their light, and just to get support for whatever they need. So we're running groups now for men's mental health, military veterans, young people, you know, kids that have had difficult starts in life, young pregnant women and people with newborns. We have really good LGBT community, loads and loads of different things. So basically anyone and everyone everywhere we you know, embrace and support. And we're building a little school now, an online school for all the things that you don't get taught in school, you know, the life skills that you probably could do with learning in school but you don't. So that's what we're doing, that's where we're at. So that's kind of why you're here, because throughout June we've been trying to do these free sort of live support sessions in different ways, just to see what the engagement's like, to see who we can help, and then we look at how we fund continuing these things on, the things that are the most popular. So that is, in a nutshell, that's why we're here. How did you find that, everybody? Everyone that's here on the top there? Are you all awake or asleep? Meg, you're outside. Are you outside? Cool. How did you find it outside? It's got a big thumbs up. Lindy, how about you? We've had a tough day on Zoom today. You're looking brighter already.
Yeah, I actually wasn't able to properly focus the way I was normally. My combination of kind of keeping one eye on the tech so everyone else had a smooth journey, and in part people coming in and out the room, so I wasn't really able to the way I normally would. But sound, I'm like you, Jane. I'm really into my sound therapy. I've gone to quite a lot of gong baths, which is my very first gong bath. I was explaining to Jane before, I actually had some really intense physical healing, like from the first session, and not just a psychosomatic, oh, this is a, you know, placebo effect. It was a very physical healing that couldn't be denied, to the point where my doctors were like, I don't know where this illness has gone, but it's gone, and it did go, and it never returned. And then I actually took one of our other tribe members, Jasmine, with me to a gong bath, and I was really concerned because she had a migraine that day, and she has very severe migraines, and I was really concerned. I was like, how's this going to be? Is this going to make her worse? Is this going to like affect her? And she afterwards, she was like, I feel great, it's gone. And I was just like, oh, thank God for that. Because obviously when you're introducing someone to something, you're like, obviously, yeah, sorry, Jane, I just realized I muted everyone. They can't unmute themselves.
The power.
yeah, so when you introduce someone to a therapy, especially when you know that they're very sensitive, there's a you feel very responsible, don't you? Like, I hope this is okay. And it was a really positive for her as well. So I was really, so I'm a complete convert with sound therapy. Absolutely adore it. So yeah, I'll see you on the 12th.
Yeah, we're all gonna be there. Meg, you're unmuted now. You can talk.
Oh God.
Or are you too tired? You just nicely zoned out.
My headache. I had a headache. It's like still there slightly, but something's gone.
Is it eased a little bit?
Yeah.
So I think things like this might be useful for just, for example, obviously everybody it's brilliant for, but because we work with so many people, I think for starters, as community leaders and the group that we work with, we've got a wider group made up of other community leaders. Specifically for burnout, if we can access this or offer this as a therapy for people who are already helping other people but neglecting themselves, something like this might be a great tool for, you know, for people in leadership roles. Teachers at the moment, I'm just about to do something for teachers because the absolute, you know, trauma at the moment that teaching staff are going through, trying to manage their own fears and their own anxieties and their own, you know, the unrealistic expectations, trying to balance curriculum with it's not going to happen, is it? And trying not to show that to the young people, especially with the little ones who now have to socially distance and can't be around their friends. It's such a difficult. So being able to offer things for that particular group, same with NHS workers, anyone who's, you know, going, there's so many different people that could benefit. So I suppose for us, it's a case of working out how we can facilitate that.
No, I don't know that am I muted?
No, you're good.
Hello.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know whether you want to share these little packs that I did at the beginning of lockdown. They're all the free bundles, basically. They're the free virtual hugs for 3 different categories.
Oh.
There's like
I have one. I
I
don't even know what it is yet, but I want one.
I want one.
Yeah, I just thought seemed to be 3 obvious categories in the beginning. It was like those that were even more busier than before, like maybe they've got their kids as well. Then there was those that were at home on their own or nobody really to speak to. And then the key workers. And of course, there are so many more types of people and categories, but I put these little bundles together and it was a very short yoga class so that it's not too much, very gentle. One meditation for that particular category, and then a little intro video that was just like tips for that kind of person. So I'll share those links with you, and just
that would be amazing. And when we have our sort of management meeting, we're trying to look at ways that we can sort of help support other people. So you're obviously running a business as well. If we can funnel people to you for, you know, for classes and for things, anything you might be selling tickets for, then that would be great, because we can sort of cross share resources and audiences, which would be wicked. Because I know Kitty's on here somewhere. I know she's chilled out, because I'm just laying on my bed taking it all in. The most effective thing for me is someone else's soothing words or sounds filling my head, so I stop overthinking and switch off. It's the same for me when I'm not doing the talking. Just, yeah, having that. But Kitty runs our Black Dog project, which is specifically for depression, anxiety and mental health. So it's really hard going. So some kind of tools and resources is what we're looking at trying to build next, is sort of self-help things. And quite often it's the loneliness and isolation kind of cohort there, people who feel completely alone and isolated. So that would be brilliant if you have got anything to share, and we'll see what we can do sort of to pass things in reverse. And anything you need sharing as well, anything on social media, we're going to stick all your links up and everything later as well. But if we can, tap into some funding pots, it might be nice just to host a monthly session of some description, build it into our funding, and just ask different groups if they want to come along.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got loads of connections, loads of different types of therapists, and I'm sure you have as well. But if you're looking for a specific type of person or something that they can offer, I can easily just reach out and see who's up for it and help you get some diversity in what you're offering.
That would be great. We've got parent carers. I'm just thinking out loud now, one of our other groups is parent carers. So we've got parents that are really struggling during lockdown because they have children with additional needs and they're just getting no support. Everything's been taken away. And the meeting last week, one of the things that came up was self-care. It was an important thing, but we couldn't term it self-care. We couldn't use the word self-care, because as soon as you mention to a parent carer the word self-care, they just shut off because it's like, well, no, I can't because I've got to look after, you know, I'm not important. But Louise, who's running it, said if we could do something along the lines of just, all right, this next 20 minutes or this next 15 minutes is just for you. We've got to do something for you without mentioning the word self-care, which tends to turn people off. So we thought about getting guest speakers in and people that could offer different kinds of therapies. So that fits in really nicely if we can. And then
one as well, I could always do a little bit of a session, a talk on just a little one, how by having that time out, whatever you choose to call it, how that impacts your body, and in which case how that makes you more able to support and drill that in with
that would be a brilliant one, how you can become present by looking after yourself so that you're not giving from an empty cup.
Exactly, yeah, work on that.
Excellent, that's brilliant. Meg, you look like you're on a Crime Watch reconstruction in shadow and you need your voice like changes. You're just a complete shadow. She's back again. Fab. Tori, you look suitably chilled out over there. I didn't think you'd be awake. I thought they might put you to sleep. Yeah, Tori's had a rubbish day today, so I was hoping that might be a good thing just to give you a little bit of healing. Yeah, zoned out. Good. That's what we want. Sofa looks so snug. Yeah, you do. Nice and
I
chill.
was really looking forward to it because it was the last session of the month. Obviously, we've had literally been on Zoom since 10 o'clock from one, as you know, Jane, because you've been in most of them as well. Literally jumping from one session to the other, and we've had it. I don't think we planned it greatly in the sense that we put all the hard hitting ones in one.
I was bad planning on my part, I think, because I knew
we all did it. Like we all mutually sat down and went, let's do this. And then it was only today when I was looking at last night I was looking at the sessions, I was like, oh, we've got the really intense ones. And I think because like the mums and babies ones we do in the morning, it sounds like it's a lovely fuzzy one, but obviously you deal with a lot of sort of taboo subjects in there. So that was like okay.
Yeah, and we've literally, Nicola, we've just come out of one of these on grief and bereavement during lockdown with someone who'd lost a parent through coronavirus during lockdown, and that was we just want to help people as much as you can. But how can you do that on Zoom? So it's been a really, really, really intense day, hasn't it? But I knew I wanted to finish the month, and the 30th of June was coming through as something that we needed to do something like this because there's big energy spikes going on. There's all kinds of stuff coming next with the moon next week. So I thought this was just a good time to be able to do something. But I didn't think about what else we were going to have to fit into the day. I thought I would just be sitting in a nice little Zen zone all day, and then we'll finish off with a nice. But I think I definitely needed that for me.
Even though I was only like one eye open, keeping an eye on everything, I was.
Yeah, we need to do a special one for you. It
still helped because Jane, I don't know if you noticed in the last session we were in, like this side of my neck was like I was having like spasms, just from like my own burnout coming up.
Yeah,
and obviously it's a difficult subject. And so I was just like, this bit was going and like that eye was going, and I was just like, okay.
You were looking really drained in that last one because I was thinking, oh, you need to just chill out. And I didn't want to ask you to do anything in this one because I thought you're looking really like just it's taking its toll. But now your skin's looking all glowy and nice, even though you still had to do some work.
Shall I put the hang on. Silver taught me a really, really clever thing. Touch up my appearance auto filter on thing.
Is that what you've got on?
No, I've just put it on then.
I was going to say I was so impressed with how glowy you were. If I am then, I am.
Hang on, one. There's nothing.
Right, can I just say, is that a thing? You've all seen the state of me this week and how I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards because I haven't had a chance to look in a mirror. Someone could have told me that I could have used some fake filter.
Silver only told me about it.
And I can't download it because my laptop's too old.
Oh, no, we just have to be real. Authentic. I mean, I would be going against what I've always preached, really, wouldn't I, if I started filtering and looking all. Exactly. My plan was to have a bit of makeup on, and I was going to go down to the lake near me, and I was going to sit by the lake and be all nice in nature. But I've had to juggle 5,000 Zooms. Then I forgot I had to feed my kids at some point as well, so I had to leg it to do that.
Then there's bound to be anti issues if you did that as well, you know.
Yeah, I know, and I thought it'd probably rain and I wouldn't be able to do it, so it always works the way it's got to work. So no, I'm really grateful to you, Nicola. It was brilliant. It was just what we needed.
You're beautiful as well. Thank you.
Yeah, did you like it, by the way? Because it's not something that I do very often. I do a lot of meditation myself, and I used to do a fair bit of stuff when I was really young for other people. And as I say, I've always been a healer. I've done Reiki for 20 years, but I just felt totally guided to do that, because I've been looking at the Heart Math. Have you come across the Heart Math Institute?
No.
In America. So the Heart Math Institute, I'm doing lots of research as well. For the last couple of years, I've been looking into psychology, neuroscience, quantum mechanics, cellular biology, all the things that make us who we are, because it's just, you know, I'm drawn to do it. And I came across the Heart Math Institute through a guy called Joe Dispenza. I've been reading a lot of Joe Dispenza's books. He's a doctor, a PhD. And it's all about heart-brain coherence. So that particular meditation was kind of my version of heart-brain coherence. And the theory, for anyone who's not come across that before, is you know you can measure brain waves on an ECG, and you can measure those, but your heart has this resonance which is way more powerful than your brain. And what normally happens when we're stressed, and because my work at the moment now is all geared around stress and well-being, that's what I do now, so all my research points to be in this direction, that if you were to measure somebody on a graph what was going on when they're in sort of stress anxiety zone, the brain waves would be doing, you know, this wiggly line like you'd see, but the heart space would be doing a different one, and everything's completely incoherent, all upside down, inside out, everything's stressed and mashed together, nothing makes sense, nothing's coherent. So if you can get to the space, or if somebody else can facilitate you with words getting to the space, that you're focused on your heart and your thought, and you marry the two together, those waves line up, and that is when you can get you just raise your vibration. As you know, Nicola, at the moment it's all about raising vibes. How many people can we get sort of raised? So I thought that was just a really cool thing to try and do at the end of the month, not your traditional you know, I do one with a walk in the park and the nice sort of visual guided one. It was just more about trying to experiment with that heart brain coherence and just seeing what came up for people and how it made people feel.
Yeah, it was done very intuitively, and that's what you can feel when you're doing it. So
that's good to know, because that was my kind of, I was thinking, I planned this at the beginning of last month and I knew it was coming. I just thought, no, I have to do something on that day, out of my comfort zone, but I need to do it. And then I was thinking, right, I'll write myself a script, and then I kept putting that off. And then the last couple of days I thought, I'm just, the words will come. I'm just going to have to go with it and ask for a bit of guidance and see what happens. So, and that's what happened. So
one thing I found quite interesting the last couple of days is on the various group sessions that we've been leading, I've been signposting people to come to this. And every time I've said it, I've seen Jane kind of go, oh no.
Don't be telling more people. Yeah.
Don't do that. Like, which is the complete opposite to what you're normally like. You're like, right, guys, come to this. And I was just like, come to this. And she's like,
she's tagging people in again. She's tagging people in.
Stop telling people.
I thought at least if we put it on YouTube, then we're going to be able to share that, and we've got it as a record, and people can use it as a resource. And yeah, and I've also recorded a similar one actually on Mindset Mojo. You'll come to it later on. Actually, those of you doing Mindset Mojo at the moment, it's module 10, I think it is, module 9 or 10. I've recorded a version of it as well, which I might re-record. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, I just thought it would be good to just get some feedback from you guys and see how you feel, because when I first did it, it really was a powerful one for me, just getting things straightened out, and I really noticed the difference. Just getting answers really, and not feeling so stressed and anxious and everything's really messy and you can't see your way through. Once you can get in that zone of everything being in nice flow, everything becomes a lot easier. I was just showing everybody before some of the stuff, because I was getting my guidance. Self-love came up just before. We had self-love, ascension, and honoring your energy. So out of all the cards that I could have pulled, those three are pretty relevant, I would say. Especially the self-love one. Yeah, homeostasis, exactly, Kitty. If you think of a Weeble. Remember Weebles? Is anyone old enough to remember Weebles? You're always either one way or the other. And when you can get that homeostasis or balance in the middle somewhere, it's like a real balancing act, especially nowadays. But that's the name of the game, isn't it? It's trying to get to that point of homeostasis or perfect balance. What do I mean to Kitty? It'll take us time to appreciate. Yeah. I mean, we're all in it together, aren't we? Really, to make a difference to people. So and sometimes it's little small things that we do that can have a huge big impact. We've had a couple of groups where only one person's shown up, but that one person it's had a big impact. So Kirsty, brilliant. That is exactly what I was hoping from this session. I was hoping that you would end it with a walk and go authentically. I hope you're in the lotus position while you're doing that. I really want to walk and go now. Oh, Gordon Bennett. Right, okay. thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to let you all go now because for once we've actually stuck to a time, which is a miracle because I don't think we've ever done that before. I hope that has helped, or it's just given you a different reference point or something new that you won't have tried before. And with these things, you can always, especially with breathing techniques and things like that, you can just dip back into it whenever you want. I'm quite often pulling over on the roadside, especially when I've got tricky days with the schools, like a mad woman, doing a bit of breathing. Sat there in the hard shoulder, getting into my zone. So yeah, just little tools to put in your toolbox. Anything else anybody would like to add to that? Linda, you could probably take us off YouTube now if you would like, seeing as we've hit that hour.